animal health, environmental health, and human health.
Thank God for giving us a great gathering. The auspicious day has come with the most revered ones for agreeing and coming over here. So really, as a climate scientist, we hope to have all your words by the presidential address today. We are going to get from you. Thank you for that also. The next most important person today is our chief guest, Sri Samuel Praveen Kumar. Sri Samuel Praveen Kumar is one of our alumni entomologists. So we are really thankful for him to agree and come over here. So we welcome you, sir. On behalf of the organizing committee, we welcome you for this great gathering. And next is our Dean of Entomology, the President of Entomological Society of India. We thank each and everyone and welcome you, sir, for this function. So, Rajan is also one of the alumni of this university. Is a great, with Madam's support and also leadership, we are able to organize this conference function. And we have our colleague, Dr. Angappan, the head of the Department of Plant Pathology. We are welcoming him also. And we have all our university officers, the gems of this university. So thank you for coming here. We welcome each and everyone for this function. We have the retired persons, professors, and also all our delightful seniors. So thank you for coming over here. We welcome each and everyone for this function. And we have many laureates from other parts of the world. Dr. Lorena is here. Welcome, Dr. Lorena. And also Dr. Antonio, we welcome. Dr. Kumar Nagalingam, we welcome. So many other scientists from ICR and also the state agricultural universities have also gathered. We also welcome each and everyone of here for making us really gracious. And we have the great students community, each and every student. On behalf of the organizing committee, I welcome for this inaugural function, and also you are going to enjoy the rest of the 3 days with the great knowledge. I'm really honored.
Recording in progress.
Honor our Honorable Vice Chancellor, TNAU Coimbatore. Request our Vice Chancellor to honor Dr. Sevagan Subramanian, Scientist ISIPI, with a bouquet, shawl and memento.
On the dais, our Honorable and beloved Vice Chancellor, indeed a privilege and honor to welcome you all to the International Conference on One Health Perspectives in Global Plant Protection Research. At the outset, I would like to express our sincere appreciations to Dr. J.P. Singh, Plant Protection Advisor, Directorate of Plant Protection, Quarantine and Storage, Ministry of Agriculture and Family Welfare, Government of India, for he has been instrumental in advancing plant protection initiatives across the nation. His leadership has significantly contributed in safeguarding India's biosecurity. Due to his unforeseen personal reasons, he could not join today. Although he is not able to join, his inaugural keynote message will be read by Dr. Sone Rajan, Assistant Director of Entomology from CABRC. We truly value Dr. Singh's unwavering support for this conference. And we are delighted to have Shri Samvel Praveen Kumar, Joint Secretary, Extension, Investment and Price Support, Government of India, as our guest of honor. Though he currently serves in the policy role, he is fundamentally an entomologist and a proud alumnus of this very university. And he'll be delivering his special address on strategies for promoting plant protection adoption among farmers and provide valuable insights in strengthening farmer-centric plant protection approaches. Additionally, he'll also present a keynote address on National Pest Surveillance System under Theme 1 on this conference. And I sincerely thank Samvel for accepting our invitation despite his busy schedule and for taking time to share his expertise with us. And a special acknowledgement goes to our Honorable and Beloved Vice Chancellor TNAU, whose unwavering commitment to this conference is truly commendable. And Madam's scheduled travel was there today at 8 o'clock, but she has graciously rescheduled her plans to be there and to be with us this morning. And Madam's presence today is a testament for her dedication in agricultural innovation and also on One Health vision. Madam's leadership, TNA has set a remarkable benchmarks, including its recognition at the National Water Awards and pioneering research in climate resilient agriculture. We are grateful for Madam's support and guidance. And also we are privileged to have Dr. V.V. Ramamurthy sir, President of Entomological Society of India, who will be delivering a special address. Dr. Ramamurthy sir is a distinguished entomologist and specialized in advanced insect biodiversity and taxonomy. Notably, he played a pivotal role in the establishment of Insect Museum at TNAU, a premier facility showcasing over 20,000 insect specimens across 50 species. And this museum has become a major attraction for all the TNAU visitors, and it's slated to be included in the Coimbatore Tourism Department's list of must-visit places. We eagerly look forward, sir, to his valuable insights today. And this conference, and also I welcome Dr. Antonio. He is actually mycotoxin specialist, and with great difficulty he got his visa. At this only in a very short time we have invited him. He got his e-visa and joined with us from Italy. And also we are thankful to Dr. Sevakam Subramani. He has come from Kenya, SCP, and also he'll be with us for all the 3 days. We are thankful to you for sparing your valuable time, and your inputs during this conference team will be very much helpful for us to focus our research program further. Thank you. And also to address this growing need for real-time pest monitoring, we are also launching a mobile application today that will facilitate the recording of pest surveillance data across various districts of Tamil Nadu. This initiative aims to enhance the pest forecasting by providing timely insights to agricultural and horticultural officials, who will then disseminate the information to farmers, enabling them to take proactive pest management measures. With 30% of the global production lost due to the pest and diseases, securing plant health is no longer just an agricultural concern, it is a matter of global public health and also economic sustainability. So this conference will focus on 9 thematic areas, providing an open platform for discussions on various aspects of plant protection. It will serve as a catalyst for idea exchange, fostering collaboration and facilitate establishment of new professional networks. Our discussions over the next 3 days will explore AI-driven pest monitoring, precision agriculture, biological control strategies, and sustainable pest management solutions to create a resilient and environmentally sound future. And on the first 2 days, deliberations will take place simultaneously in 4 different venues: an auditorium, Golden Jubilee Hall for entomology, while pathology seminar hall and conference hall will host sessions on pathology. And on the second day, the dermatology and sericulture will be having their sessions in entomology seminar hall and insect museum auditorium. The advantage of this opportunity to showcase their quality research in plant protection and One Health. And also I thank the organizing scientific community and for the dedicated efforts in making this conference a success. A special note of appreciation to all the collaborating institutions, funding agencies and sponsors whose invaluable support has helped us to bring this conference to a fruition. I encourage all of you to actively participate, collaborate and contribute to shaping the future of One Health oriented plant protection. With this, I once again welcome you all to OH PGPR 2025 and I wish you a highly productive and enriching conference. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, ma'am, for the clear overview of the conference.
Other scientists from plant pathology, whom I am not naming all of them, Dr. Suresh from entomology. If I am leaving any of them, please, it is not by mistake. I find my very close scientists whom I know as a student, Dr. Purani, Dr. Mahesh, Dr. Chandrasekharan and Dr. Subramaniam from IRI. It's a privilege for me to be in the presence of all of you. I would like to be not called as a chief guest or a special lecturer. I would like to be one among you because I spent my time as a student here 55 years back roaming around in the campus in cycles. I had the opportunity of getting my basic capacity building from this great institution. If I am today now, it is only because of this institute. The credit goes to the great Tamil Nadu Agriculture University. It is really a privilege for me to be here after being a student here. I must acknowledge the making my presence possible here, especially to the Vice Chancellor, Dr. Geeta Lakshmi. There is a lot of talk about the women Vice Chancellors of Agriculture Universities in Delhi. Whenever I meet people in ICR, they always say that the DNA is one example which stands tall among all agricultural universities despite being problems in getting funds. We find that the TNAU is progressing very well, especially its basic fabric is being maintained. The credit goes to Dr. Geeta Lakshmi and all of you. And it is really very proud to hear such words at Delhi. So I am really proud of this university and the Vice Chancellor. I am here because of Dr. Shanti, whom I know as a small girl at Madurai Agricultural College. When I met her some 10 years back, organizing an ESI event, and also Dr. Murugan, whom I had a contact when he came to Delhi to attend the DST FIST meeting. The DST FIST meeting, DST official who was there, Dr. Harish, after this meeting was over, he conveyed to me that there is no reason why TNAU should not be given DST FIST funding. And he was very much appreciative of the way Dr. Murugan presented. So I feel that TNAU is keeping its flag always very high. And that way it is very high that they have selected a very relevant topic. I congratulate the organizers for choosing this topic of One Health. One Health is relevant today because we need to have an approach which is common for man, plants and animals along with the environment. So if we see the real meaning of One Health is that we need to take man as the nucleus and then we should hover around environment, plants and animals, and it is really relevant that these organizers have chosen this topic. It is an integrated unifying approach. In fact, Tamil Nadu Agriculture University is the only university which is still having the Center for Plant Protection Studies. If you see the unification of the plant protection, it is already happening here. So I remember the days of Dr. Vidyasagar Dr. Mariappan, Dr. Jayaraj, who are all steering the Center for Plant Protection Studies. I am really glad that a women scientist is steering this directorate now. Tamil Nadu has shown, or Tamil Nadu Agri Studies has shown this integration of all these plant protection sciences a long back. And then what is required is now to channelize this towards one else. And the crop health is one which directly impacts the crop production. In fact, when Professor M.S. Swaminathan, the Bharat Ratna M.S. Swaminathan was at IARA with Dr. Pradhan, he encouraged him to write an article on how crop protection is much more needed along with the crop production, especially when there are problems with the thresholds in reaching the productivity in agricultural crops, along with the problems which are imminent with the transgenic crops. It is necessary that one should look into the One Health aspect very carefully, and that way M.S. Swaminathan was a visionary during those times itself to show that he was giving importance to all kinds of research, and then he used to always mention that protection research is much more needed along with the production research. When you want to do the One Health oriented plant protection, it is necessary that we need to integrate many processes. We have to be very clear about the emerging pests or invasive pests and diseases, and the climate change, over-reliance and injurious use of pesticides is a very serious problem. In all these things, pest diagnostic is very important. Pest and disease diagnosis forms the basic, and even here the Tamil Nadu Agricultural has been a forerunner, especially during the time of the T.V. Ramakrishna Iyer and later entomologist taxonomists who worked in the Department of Entomology and now with the museum. I am very happy that this fundamental aspect is being taken care of by this particular university and the department, giving importance to pest diagnostics. The global scenario will be, the wars will be fought with grains, not with bullets. This was his wording. And if you want to subscribe to this philosophy and principle, the organizers for making me present here and then having a deliberation for the next 3 days on this particular topic. It is not only in the country as a whole, but it is global. And I feel that if Tamil Nadu Agricultural continues to promote the integration of all aspects of science, including artificial intelligence and other aspects, I am sure that it will keep its flag high, and I wish this university and the organizers all well with this. Thank you.
See this One Health perspective. I would like to start off with a small anecdote which dates back to 55 years. It's a story about Edwin Aldrin and Michael Collins. Some of you might recollect who they are. For those who don't recollect, probably if I add another name to that, then your memory will become fresh. Neil Armstrong. So these three were the first in 1969, July 16th, to take up a journey on Apollo 11 mission to moon, lunar. That was the first time ever somebody landed on moon. And we all remember that Neil Armstrong was the first person who actually landed on moon. But we must also remember that the photograph that we see of Neil Armstrong on the moon was taken by Buzz Aldrin, Edwin Aldrin. More importantly, when we talk about the contribution, there was one person who went till moon but did not land on moon. Was a third person, and who was Michael Collins. But do you know the significance of Michael Collins' contribution? Michael Collins was commanding the command module which actually has to bring the other scientists back to the earth. So for 2 hours, he was orbiting the moon without knowing what was happening on the moon and what was happening in NASA. So he was just waiting that these two people who went on the moon will come back after their excursion. Now, the learnings that we get from here is that while everybody knows that Neil Armstrong landed on moon, we hardly remember the two names that were associated with them and the contribution that they made. In fact, after that Apollo 11 mission, there were about half a dozen, 1 dozen missions where 12 people went. None of us remember the names. Now friends, this is what our agriculture research, our agriculture extension is all about. We only know the tip of the iceberg, but we don't know what actually we are doing from a farmer perspective. You all may be, stunned to learn that when I say that the amount of research work that emanates is humongous in our country, but the adoption in terms of its extension, the technology dissemination and its adoption by the farmer is very minuscule. Now why is this disconnect? Because if you see the contributions of Michael Collins or a contribution of Buzz Aldrin, they are even more significant because Neil Armstrong, only one can actually step on the moon. First person is only one person. But then these people were instrumental in taking him there and bringing him back on Earth. So the entire mission is important. So every contribution that comes from a university, from a KVK, from a research station has to reach the farmer. Now why is it not happening? Now when we see, especially in terms of One Health perspective, very interesting perspective I'll tell you is that the KCC system, Kisan Call Center system, we have a system of taking feedback from the farmers as to what they require, what they expect from an agri researcher or an agri scientist or an agri policy maker. There are only 3 things that a farmer is, of course there are other things as well, but 3 important things. One, he wants to know about the weather. நாளைக்கு மழை பெய்யுமா, எப்பங்க மழை பெய்யும், மான்சூன் எப்படி இருக்கும். This is what the first thing. The second important thing that he wants is, பூச்சி வந்தா என்ன பண்றதுங்க, இந்த வியாதி வந்துருச்சு, இந்த மஞ்சள் ஆயிடுச்சு, இலையெல்லாம் இதுக்கு என்ன பண்ணணும், என்ன அடிக்கணும். That is what they ask. The third thing is, what are the government schemes through which I can benefit. Now coming to government schemes, we have a Neil Armstrong there also. That Neil Armstrong is nothing but PM Kisan. PM Kisan is PM Kisan Samman Nidhi. I will give an interesting anecdote which happened with me. I was a nodal officer in Telangana for some time. So I went for a field visit and a gathering of about 150 farmers were there. I was interacting with them in Telugu. So I said, "Meeku andarki mana prabhutva padakalu anni vastunayandi, meeku em vastunayi?" All those things I asked. So they were very happy that I was speaking in Telugu and they were responding. One gentleman stood up. He raised his hand and told, "Sir, we don't know about any schemes. Maaku rende telusu sir." He told only 2. Modi sir paisulu, KCR sir paisulu. Modi sir ka paisa, KCR sir ka paisa. Modi sir ka paisa is PM Kisan. 2,000 rupees for every 4 months, 6,000 rupees in a year. KCR paisulu is Raitu Bandhu. In fact, Raitu Bandhu is a precursor for PM Kisan. PM Kisan actually came from Raitu Bandhu. This is a direct benefit transfer. Now we say that PM Kisan is the world's largest direct benefit transfer scheme. What impact it has really made is that during COVID times, especially when they were struggling, farming is always an activity of hope and risk. When we say farming as a profession, it entirely depends on hope. Hope of good weather, hope of no pest, hope of good yield, and hope of good market. Beyond this, there is nothing else. And when we talk about risk, there are always, weather is also risky. Today the climate adaptation is happening climate change is happening so fast that we are unable to adapt to it. So climate and then other risks of markets. I was discussing with Dr. Srinivasan yesterday about soya meal and other things. I told him soya meal prices have crashed. 4,892 is MSP and today it's ruling about 4,000. Farmers are literally crying. Tomato prices have crashed, 3 rupees, 2 rupees. So the market crash and weather risk, pest risk, these are the 3 important risks that a farmer goes through. Now why is it that we are not able to, despite that huge workforce that we have, the manpower, the scientists, the KVKs, the agricultural universities, why is it that we are failing the farmers, unable to connect to them? What might be the reason? There is a saying that societal problems must have societal solutions. Now when you see all the innovations that have been coming up in our country, especially post Aadhaar days, it's all connected with digital. We have developed digital systems. Why are digital systems necessary for us? If you just have a look at post Aadhaar days, Aadhaar by the way is a foundational ID. You must all remember that today whatever the forefathers of Aadhaar were envisioning, those use cases are not there today. New use cases have come up. One of the cases is like your Digi Yatra. Aadhaar is used even for Digi Yatra for entering into airport without any verification. Even Nandan Nilekani did not envision that you can have a Digi Yatra coming up 15 years after Aadhaar. But the foundational layer that every individual with a 12-digit number, 12 digit is because our population is 1.4 billion, 10 digits. So even if our population grows 10 times more, probably you will have a 12-digit number adequate to take care of the identity. But on this foundational ID, you are trying to build many systems which are going to make our life much easier. And just to name a few, how DPIs have transformed our lives. You just take out your mobile UPI. UPI is again an integration of so many things. It has got bankers, it has got payment interface, it has got individuals, it has got your Aadhaar, it has got everything. So just 2 rupees you want to transfer to somebody, using one scanner you transfer it. How easy it has been. And in 20 years back, if you just imagine, a check written across a bank branch is across your street and you have written a check, but it takes 3 days. Strengthen the supply chain, strengthen the system so that farmers are kept at the center. In terms of One Health perspective, I just conclude saying one thing, the quote of Leo Tolstoy. What he says is that, you must be familiar with Leo Tolstoy. He said, it is not only important, but it is also very difficult to live for others. It is always difficult, but it is important. We consider this. But we in the agri fraternity should understand that it is not only important, despite being difficult, we must live for farmers. And if we have to live for farmers, we have to strategize in such a manner that we are able to have a direct connect with farmers, and that is where we can actually see the fruits of success coming out of all our efforts, be it One Health perspective or for that matter any other thing. Every scheme, every benefit, every new innovation has to reach the farmer. I take this opportunity for thanking Dr. Shanti, VC Madam for bringing me here. When it comes to digital initiatives, I keep talking, so there's always a timer for me that will have to come back. So I was given a 10-minute slot. I thought I'll summarize my thoughts and share it in the best possible manner with all of you. Collectively, all of you, please come up with solutions which can transform the lives of farmers, and I hope that this conference will definitely set the tone and show you the way forward for transforming the lives of farmers. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for the
You handle different languages, including Hindi, Telugu, Tamil, English, I don't know how many other languages you know. The way you communicate, all the schemes that are very much going into the farmers, and one of the scientists who are sitting on the dais and also off the dais. First of all, from Kenya, Sevagan Subramanian sir from Kenya. Thank you so much, traveling from such a long place. And then Antonio, so thank you from Italy. You have come here. I was told you are doing such a lot of work in mycotoxin. I'm really happy to see you here. And again, from World Vegetable Center, they told me that you are doing a lot of research on biological control measures and so on. Happy to have you here to get your insights into this conference. The first row and second row, including Krishna Mohan sir. Krishna Mohan sir, really it is wonderful. I'm not seeing him here. Okay, Krishna Mohan sir, and then Muthu Lakshmi madam, and Uttamasamy sir. Uttamasamy sir is still active. He is the person coordinating all the retired people's associations. He is very active, meeting me very often, and who is a great coconut entomologist and very, very popular among the Pulachi farmers, because coconut is one crop which is giving lots and lots of issues. Yesterday also we have been with the farming community, hearing a lot of their concerns about the rugose spangling whitefly. And Philip Sridhar, so sir, you were very helpful for us in setting up of our automatic weather stations. We never forget your service in that table. And then again, two important people, Dr. Angappan and also entomology professor and head Murugan. Both of them were strong pillars of support for Shanti to make this event to happen. So every one of you sitting on the dais and off the dais, ladies and gentlemen, again a warm good morning to all of you. And it is really wonderful. It's a pleasure welcoming all of you again, joining with the team for this international conference on One Health perspective in global plant protection research. It's really, really important. As Dr. M.S. Swaminathan said, One Health is one of the important area where we have to touch upon. In fact, his daughter, Dr. Soumya Swaminathan, was to give us a presidential address over online, but because of some urgent commitment, she could not join with us. It would have been really nice had she joined with us. And every one of us know, world revolves around agriculture for future hunger-free, creating sustainable environment and also sustainable hunger-free world. It is important that agriculture has to be taken care of. But we have got many challenges. The first challenge is attracting youth to through agriculture. Samuel Praveen was saying so much about agriculture, its policies and so on. We have to have strong policy like keeping the farmers in farming. Tamil Nadu Agricultural University is taking steps to identify what is actually preventing the farmers to go out of farming. We have already taken some steps and we have conducted some stakeholders meetings. Block-wise stakeholders meetings have been conducted to identify the lacunas that are happening to make the farmers stay in the agriculture, especially the young farmers. No farmer, now the average age of the farmer is close to 60 years. But we want to bring the second generation farmers also into agriculture. So that is what we are now doing it. Agriculture has to be seen like an industry. So we have to have lots and lots of profitable ventures from the agriculture side, for which Tamil Nadu Agricultural University is definitely taking a step forward and working together with many stakeholders. The second important challenge is climate change. Every one of us know climate is one of the important things. Even Mr. Samuel Praveen said about the climate, the importance of weather. People wish to know what is going to happen in the near future, in the far future, so that they can make their plans according to the changes in the weather. So the weather is becoming important, but the changing climatic conditions are really worrying factor. Some of the minor pests have become major pests and we are not able to control it. That is the biggest worry. You must be knowing last year, 2024, was the warmest year of the entire time period. If we see 100 years, one whole century, 2024 was the warmest of all the time period over the 100 years, and it was plus 2 degrees Celsius from the average of the 100 years. So you can just imagine how much warming is happening. And people are envisaging this. 2025 is going to be much more warmer. Every year is surpassing the previous year in terms of getting warmer and warmer. So we have to be definitely careful. So these are the two important challenges I feel that will make a biggest challenge for the control of pests and diseases. And then another important thing is it will have centrifuging effect. The climate change will have centrifuging effect, especially on the environment, on the ecology as well as in agriculture. There are so many things said about climate change, but the thing is we have to very cautiously see two things. One is controlling of pests and diseases, second one is water. Water is going to be too crucial for us to manage the agriculture in the event of changing climatic conditions. Again, like the last 1 decade, if we just see what has happened in the last 10 years, there were 40 incidents of pest and disease havocs. Just 40 incidents of pest and disease havocs that has happened and that has been documented. If you just see, just last 1 year, there were 20 such events have been recorded, and it is by the Directorate of Plant Protection, Storage and Quarantine. It's in Faridabad. They have recorded 20 havoc incidents because of the pest and diseases in different parts of India. One such thing is fall armyworm, one such thing is rufous parlin whitefly. Like that, there were 20 different incidences that is actually making agriculture to go on beyond, below certain levels. And another important thing is importance of plant protection, which is very, very important to keep the global food security. Not only that, the human health, the animal health, and also environmental health. Why we are saying environmental health is because if we spray the plant protection chemical, again the biodiversity is getting affected. And not only that, we the agriculture people, we are the preventing people from the diseases. Once the disease comes, it's actually getting cured by the physicians. But we are the people, we have to prevent the people not getting diseases. So plant protection chemicals are the first things. People used to spray chemicals without waiting for a waiting period so that the chemical gets disintegrated, just they bring it to the market. We never know what sort of food we are taking inside. Are we eating poison or are we eating a good food? There is nothing, there is a systematic thing available to see whether we are eating a good food. So that's the biggest thing. And then One Health means it is a connection, it is actually connecting between the human, the animal, the plant and environment. So it is a kind of a continuum. It is a cycle that we have to definitely take into account. So this particular theme of One Health is very relevant today because it is to meet the sustainable development goals. So the plant protection meets importantly 3 sustainable developmental goals. One is the food security. Second thing is food security means that that's no hunger. So keeping the people all satisfied with the food. And another one is reducing the poverty. Once we keep the people happy, the poverty level have to come down. And another one is sustainable agriculture. So these are the 3 sustainable development goals which are taken care of. There are 4 organizations which is taking care of the One Health perspective. One is Food and Agricultural Organization, another one is UNEP, third one is WHO, World Health Organization, and then World Organization for Animal Health. All these organizations, 4 organizations, combine together and they do a lot of work to mitigate the impact of changing climatic condition, future health, to keep the future health and so on. So this works on different scales. Regional scale, local scale, regional scale, country level, and then global level. So all these things are taken care of by these 4 organizations' activity and plans. FAO promotes One Health because it is actually transforming the agri-food system. So mainly to keep the health of the people, animal, plant, and environment. If you just see small statistics, India, it houses close to 18% of the global population. Okay, so we have to have different kind of plan to make the food security. So if you just see the global pesticide usage in agriculture, it is 3.7 million tons in 2020. 2022, it was 3.7 million tons, which is the latest record available for us. So in terms of herbicide, 53% is consumed, insecticide and fungicide 21 to 21.5% each, and then plant growth regulators around 1.4%. So the global pesticide use increased by 62% between 2000 and 2022. In 22 years of time period, we have increased our pesticide consumption by 62%. Then you can imagine why we don't get cancer and other diseases. Because of these pesticide residues, it is creating lots and lots of issues. As far as India is concerned, we have got 339 registered pesticides, and the formulations are something around 947 formulations, including 69 bio-insecticides and 31 biofungicides. We do have biopesticides and biofungicides. Now the role should be, we have to promote these biofungicides and the biopesticides to a greater extent, so we escape from deadly diseases. Coming to the total consumption of pesticide, it's good to notice that India is reducing its consumption of chemical pesticides from 61,702 tons to 55,235 tons, which means people are looking for alternative to control the pest and disease. Now both the government of India and government of Tamil Nadu, both of them are actually trying to push a lot of organic farming and natural farming, which will definitely reduce the pesticide consumption. So pesticide residue monitoring is one thing which we need to definitely look into it. There are people who wanted to grow food organically. If you grow food organically, there will be 2 things happening. One is the cost of production. Second thing is the yield level, reduction in yield level. So the produce has to be sold in a higher cost only. They will be keeping aside, these are all organically produced. But as a consumer, we never know whether it is really produced from organic sources or they are keeping the regular material into the organic. So that kind of doubt is always there. In other countries, there is a stringent regulation. If they do such small practices, their shop will be closed once for all. So they have such a stringent measures taken outside. But as far as India is concerned, we have to go a long way for those things. So pesticide residue monitoring is one thing. Maximum residue limits, MRL limits for many things have to be identified. So India is putting forth lots and lots of effort for putting 5 spices including cardamom, coriander, fennel, cumin and pepper. They have contributed a lot in fixing MRL levels of various chemicals into these spices. We are also working with US companies because several gaps and challenges are available in fixing the MRL levels. Because of that, we are losing the trade between India and other foreign countries, such as some of the minor crops like curry leaves, moringa and also banana. So because of that, we are now working very closely with the US so that we can fix the MRL levels and we can collect lots and lots of data. So the pesticide residue, it poses lot of health issue as we know. So first thing is we need to create awareness among the farming community, especially the waiting period. And once they spray the pesticide, then the pesticide should get disinfected disintegrated before the produce comes into harvest. So the plant protection scientists should also work on such kind of chemicals which will disintegrate within a short period of time, at the same time effectively control the pest and diseases. Another important thing is like unscientific way of storage. So like our climatic condition, subtropical climatic condition and semi-arid climatic condition is very conducive for the fungal growth and thereby mycotoxin. I am happy one of the scientists coming from Italy is working on mycotoxin. So this mycotoxin will have lots and lots of effect on our health, especially it will create cancer, it will create stomach upset, kidney problem, liver dysfunction and so many other things, reproductive system disorder and so many other things. So we have to be very careful. So for this, Tamil Nadu Agricultural University has come out with many kind of a solution. 2 medicinal herbs, 3 microbes which can detoxify this mycotoxins. But these kind of findings, as Praveen said, like it has to reach to the farming community in a larger way so that they use these kind of things to detoxify mycotoxin and give good quality food to the farming community. Very, very important, working together like all the disciplines, including the technology people and also domain expert people, we have to work together so that we bring lot of innovations. And also the policy. So I am really happy. Shanti is bringing one specific session inviting relevant stakeholders including farmers. I was told one of the eminent farmers from Udayapuram, OVR Somasundaram is also going to be part of it, and she is inviting so many other stakeholders who is expertising in their own field, and they are going to give their ideas, their talks, so that Tamil Nadu for their consideration to create policies on MRL levels, and also some of the policies like weekly cotton is one of the greatest invention which saved the cotton farmers. Like that now there are bans on going with the transgenic kind of things. So we have to have strong policies for which Shanti is creating a separate session. My compliments to you, and we are looking forward to have the end product of that particular thing. And another 2 important things before I conclude, in June 2020 we had this cassava mealybug which was actually invasive pest to Tamil Nadu, especially it was a very serious pest in Salem and Namakkal district. So there is a parasitoid which is Anavirus lopsi, which was actually imported from International Institute of Tropical Agriculture, West Africa. So after importing it, they have multiplied it, so something around 250,000 kind of numbers were multiplied, and they gave it to more than 1,500 farmers. Initially, they gave 100 numbers of this parasite to each of the farmers with free of cost, and to 12 districts this was given, and because of that, the pest load was reduced to 20% from 80%, which is a great service these people have done, which needs greater appreciation. Another important thing, maize fall armyworm. Maize fall armyworm was devastating the entire maize cultivation area, and maize is one of the important raw material for the poultry, and these people, they have developed a capsule of technologies which will control the maize fall armyworm, so which again came down from 80% to 20%, and the insecticide spray, normally 5 to 6 sprays they used to do, which has come down to 2 to 3 sprays, protecting the environment, reducing the cost of plant protection, at the same time bringing back the yield to the tune of 80 to 90% yield level without the loss, means only 10% loss was there because of this maize fall armyworm. Very similar, yesterday we have been in the field for the rugose spiraling whitefly. It's really devastating. Something we have 4.5 lakh hectares of coconut garden. Almost more than 80% of the garden is under the threat of this rugose spiraling whitefly. Now we are bringing some kind of an idea to give community level control of these insects, and to that we are submitting a proposal to Government of Tamil Nadu to include in the Ministry of Farmers. The budget of the, we have the separate budget for the farmers, for which we are trying to include that. So these are some of the things which we wanted to do, and I am really happy experts are available from different countries and also from different parts of India to share your insights, to share your knowledge, and also to have some connectivity and collaboration amongst yourself. This 2 days conference should be 3 days conference, should be really powerful to derive some meaningful conclusion. I wish to bring to your notice, like there should be some novel approaches designed from this conference on pest and disease monitoring and especially forewarning. Some of our scientists are working on forewarning. They will be releasing a software very shortly, which will be useful for forewarning things. And especially now the climatic conditions are changing. Because of that, the insect population, the fecundity rate, everything is going to change. Lot of studies have been initiated in TNAU, and we have to get to know some insights so that we design proper kind of a control measures. That's also one of the important things. Bioinformatics, which again is very, very important. I'm happy to inform our biotechnology department is working with the biotechnological tools identifying genes which makes the plant resistant to biotic stresses, and we are working with the conventional breeding people and trying to bring out not only the climate resilient varieties but also the varieties resilient to pests and diseases. So it is also one of the area which need to be explored, and we need to definitely look into the emerging pests and diseases, especially the invasive pests. That's also one area. And plant microbe interaction. As I told, there are few microbes which degrade the pesticide level within the plant and which degrade the mycotoxin level. So we need to really work with the microbiologists to identify the microbes, the beneficial microbes which will help in plant protection studies. And above all, the digital technologies. Making Praveen sitting over here, he is one of the very shrewd person. I've seen him in his place. He has been working very closely with the Digital India, and even with all the digitization that is happening, he's closely working with the top guys, and I really enjoyed sitting in his office looking at the capabilities that he has. And he was helping Tamil Nadu Agricultural University in getting many things. He was instrumental in bringing Manoj Ahuja sir for one of the convocations. I really thank you, Praveen, for all your help. Always alumni is our strength. So all the people sitting, many of the places, they really help us in bringing many laurels to Tamil Nadu Agricultural University. Thanks to Ramamurthy sir again for penetrating into such a high order, and thanks to every one of you who are sitting here, and the pillars of Tamil Nadu Agricultural University who are sitting in the first 3-4 rows, and the future pillars who are sitting at the back. Really, it is giving me an immense pleasure to talk to all of you. I wish that this conference should be a great success with lots and lots of meaningful recommendations which can get kind of modifications in the plant production arena, and this will make a dent in the future days. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Ready for
We thank Dr. Narayana Swamy for the contribution of book to the university. Thank you, sir.
ready.
invitation and graced the occasion. Madam is our inspiration and guiding force, and Madam has kindly gave permission to organize this international conference, and also Madam has given constructive suggestion from the day 1 to today for the successful conduct of this program. So I thank our Honorable Vice Chancellor very much for her involvement and enthusiasm in participating in this program. It is my privilege to profusely thank Sri Samuel Praveen Kumar, Joint Secretary Extension, Ministry of Farmers Welfare, Government of India, who delivered the keynote address and meaningful insight about the theme of this conference. I thank you very much, sir. I thank Mr. Dr. Swanay Rajan, Assistant Director, who has also graced this occasion on behalf of Dr. J.P. Singh. I thank Dr. V.V. Ramamurthy, President, Entomology Society of India, who offered participation to this mega event with thoughtful insights during his speech. I thank all our university officers and HODs for gracing the occasion by their presence. I thank all our mentors, our gurus, who have travelled across Tamil Nadu to participate in this function amidst their age and health. So I thank one and all our mentors for gracing this occasion. I thank all the delegates from different organizations who travelled across the world to deliver keynote talks, lead lectures, and to participate in this august gathering. I thank all the sponsors and contributors for their generous financial support to conduct this event in a very fitting manner. I thank all our beloved Director, CPPS, Dr. M. Shanti, for synthesizing the idea of conducting this conference and guiding time to time meticulously with various committees to execute and synchronize the activities to make this event a successful one. I thank the HODs of Agriculture, Entomology, Nematology and Sericulture for effective coordination and execution of various tasks from day 1 to till this time for giving me this opportunity.